Howdy! Welcome to Possum Nettie's Tomato Tutorial. Today we're going to start you on a primer of how to grow the best delicious tasting tomatoes you ever would want to have. So, first of all, we're going to talk about location, because that's what it's all about. Location, location, location. Here you can see on this side of the house, it's very sunny. Very sunny. See all them happy tomato plants? This is the south side of the house, which means it's going to get full sun about 6 to 8 hours a day, which is what you want for good tasting tomatoes. So, location is important. Pick a southern exposure. The next thing that's important is the size of the pots. I'm going to show you what to put my tomatoes in right here. See that there? That there is a big old pot. It's bigger than a 5-gallon bucket. And that's important, because your tomatoes need to have root space. If they don't have root space, they won't grow well. So you got to give them root space. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is dirt. I'll be right back. This here is what you want to get. This here Miracle-Gro garden soil. This is what I'm using for my tomatoes. It's got moisture control and it's got fertilizer in there. Feeds for up to 3 months. Grows bigger, more bountiful, beautiful vegetables. And that includes tomatoes, even though some people say they're a fruit. So, that's my secret dirt that I like to use for tomatoes. Now we're going to talk about tomato types, if I don't step on this here cat. Here, cat. Come on, cat. Here we go. Outside, cat. There we go. Alright, now we're going to talk about tomato varieties, because we're going to break it down simple into two varieties to start off with. You got the tomatoes that make flowers and fruit all at once and then they're done. That's called a determinate tomato. I got an example of one of those right here. I'm going to show you. Oh, there's Bobo, his fatness, running down the sidewalk. Where you going? Where you going? Okay, this plant right here, this here is a determinate tomato. It's not too tall. It's about 3 feet tall. In the pot, notice the pot. And all of its fruits are about that big. There's my hand, there's the tomatoes. And they all tend to come on pretty much at the same time. And then they'll be done. Now, that's type tomato 1. Bushy, compact tomato. Yep, that's him right there. That's a determinate tomato. This is also a determinate tomato, but it's a bit bigger variety. So you're going to end up with these big ones here. Is also a determinate tomato. It sets flower pretty much once and then it's done. Now, then we have the indeterminate tomato varieties. They just keep growing and growing and growing and growing until the frost kills them. And that's what your cherry tomatoes are, which is what I got right here. Can you see them? I'm trying to steer this dadgum thing. And we got red ones down in here, ripe ones. Now this plant, look out, kitty cat. This here plant's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. It's spreading all out over here. I don't know where one plant ends and the other one, I don't know where they just kind of grow together down there. So, you got your determinate and you got your indeterminate tomatoes. All your cherry tomatoes are going to be indeterminate. Your other tomatoes are going to be determinate. Now, we're going to go inside and talk about varieties within those two general groups. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. The other thing you got to look at is your package of tomato seeds. Then there are cherry tomatoes right there. Now, it says on the back of the package, 60 to 90 days. That's when you're going to have fruit. So, and this will just keep growing and growing and growing, which is why I either start with transplanted plants or we start our tomatoes from scratch like Grandma Jo used to do. That's your indeterminate cherry tomato, 60 to 90 days for fruit. Then we got your classic Roma tomato, which is good for pasta sauce and stuff like that. This is about 78 days, it says. So it's in between the time frame for the cherry tomatoes. Then we got this fancy striped dealie here called the Tagarella. It says 50, can't read it, 55 to 65 days. Now you notice that as the tomatoes get bigger, it takes a little longer to grow them, which is another good reason to start either from seeds that you plant yourself early, or seeds or plants that you buy at the store. Bigger one yet, the Cherokee Purple. This is an heirloom variety. This is a bigger tomato yet. It's also an indeterminate, which means it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing until you get that frost to finally kill it. And then you can have fried green tomatoes. Now this one takes 80 to 90 days. So again, the bigger the tomato, the longer it takes to grow it. So you got to get them in early. A bigger one still. This one's the Crimson Cushion beefsteak. This one is 90 to 95 days for this one. So again, you start this one inside about 1st of March. About 1st of April, you can plant it outside. And then by July, some of your other tomatoes will be on. And these will be probably more like August before these things start producing. But they're going to be well worth the wait. And that is my beginning tomato tutorial for my sissy Missy. To be continued when we do some planting of the seeds to get them started for spring. Ta-ta for now.